And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Game number 2 there, going down in the record books here. That's going to be Glaive eSports Rose picking up game number 2. And honestly, pretty impressive there, Stone.
Idea. Our predictions for the series, they're in the tank. Glaive Esports with 2 wins right now, a 3-1. Clearly not possible for Omega. Still a chance at the reverse sweep, however. And I have to say, the solo lanes for Omega are trying their darndest to put this team on their back and carry them through these early games so they can get to the team fight phase with an advantage.
Absolutely here. And honestly, right now, Glaive eSports Rose is just looking, simply put, like the better team. At the end of the day, these players are playing very, very on point. Omega is trying to go through the draft here. They're trying to change it up. They're trying to do something maybe just a little bit different to give them an edge in these games, but it just falls flat a little bit too much here for Omega Gaming. We'll have to see exactly what they can do. But in that game, it was kind of interesting. I mean, Tudamax here picking up the Zed, a pick that we don't really see all that often, and for all intents and purposes, playing it very, very well.
Yeah, dude, it's a pocket pick. I think that when you ban the Cassiopeia, and again, I just have to commend Tudabex for just slamming champions like this, knowing the matchups and being ready to play all of them, and finding picks in that mid to late game area is really what carried Glaive through. I thought that this was the best game that Omega has played in against Glaive in a while, and they had a good chance entering that mid game. They had a good team fight. They had some dive going on with the Hecarim, and they were pretty even, I thought, as far as the game went. And then all of a sudden, Tudamax is in your jungle. It's just like, okay, pick off your mid laner, pick off your AD carry, pick off your support. Cool, now what are you going to do? My team has Herald. They're going to drop it in the mid lane. We're going to get Dragon, we're going to get Baron. Just creating tons and tons of pressure.
Yep, doing what he does best, to be honest there. Tudamaxi is what we would call the best mid laner in excellency mid-league this season by pretty much a long shot. Got to be honest. The man has performed exceptionally well. His stats have been way above any of the other mid laners or even other solo laners in the league. For all intents and purposes, we love to talk a lot about Kiba, and we love to talk a lot about McShoots. But I really do feel like Tudamax is kind of that unsung hero of this Glaive esports roster. The man just is always consistently winning his lane. He may not have the flashiest payers out there, but he really is kind of the rock, the heart, and the soul for this squad.
Yeah, this squad, they're so good. At the moment they know where the jungler is, you're going to notice that the camera starts panning around, because as soon as Kiba or Tudamax see the jungler, they're like, cool, time to make a play. And they know exactly which play they're going to make, and they execute it to perfection. Tudamax in particular in that last game, playing a lot of those fights. And even when the jungler is showing up, he's still out playing. He's still getting out.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Here and draft underway, ladies and gents. Kindred Thresh taken off the table. I am absolutely shocked, Stonefeld. This is such a development in our draft today. If only it was. Well, we do have the Thresh and the Kindred here banned once again by these squads, and really, I don't think that we're going to see a lot of difference in the bans that are really getting picked out here. It really, I feel like, it comes down to Omega Gaming Unleashed just drafting something that maybe has a little bit more staying power. We'd kind of talked a little bit about this, where they did decide to pick up the Karma into the bot lane in that last game that they played against Glaive. And realistically, it was Issei and Kiba that had so much pressure on the Alistar and the Tristana pick. And, their bot lane just didn't really have anything that could react well to it. Your only form of being able to really get out of a sticky situation there is by going for, trading flash for flash. And if you don't have it, well, then Alistar's just right on top of you anyway here. First pick, though, come on, it's got to be the Kai'Sa. Yep, there we go.
Don't do that to us.
No, we know what it's going to be, but there it is, picked up here first. And Omega Gaming Unleashed there. Gonna hover the Lucian here. Olibear almost instantly locked in. You have to say that is probably going to be jungle here, but can be flexed up towards the top side of the map with Lucian. No, it will be Tristana. So I do like this pick a lot better. The Tristana maybe a little bit more on the traditional side as far as AD carries go, but has a lot of mobility and can stay competitive with this Kai'Sa as they continue to scale towards the late game.
Yeah, Omega Gaming has tended to pick some comfortable champions, and I think that that's a really good strategy in the amateur scene. If you're not a professional and need to play everything, just stick to what you're comfortable with. But it's proven time and time again that they're just going to get outplayed, and so they're
Mhm.
trying to amp up the power of their champions here. I think Volibear and Tristana are two really, really strong champions on this patch. I like where they're headed so far. And I hope that they can come back and play a really good game here.
Absolutely, indeed. That would be the wish here. But the Elise getting picked up. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. You're going to see the tower dives. Hopefully, we do get a little bit of that action here in the early to mid game. And Alistar will be the hover, will be the pick here for the side of Glaive eSports as well. So I do like that. They've obviously had some success on it here. Issei has been able to pick up this champion, I believe, now for the third time in a row. And in all honesty, there's no reason to kind of deviate away from that. But the biggest difference here now is that the Rel is available. That is the option. Omega Gaming Unleashed going to be able to take that one up here in the last pick of the first pick phase. And should be interesting here. I mean, is quite a bit of good synergy that can be had with this Tristana, with this Rel. In addition to having the Volibear who wants to kind of jump in there, there are some kind of wombo combo, maybe tower dives that we could see towards the bottom side of the map. That'd be fun and exciting as well. But the Cho'Gath actually going to draw out a ban here, and Karma drawing out a ban as well. So both of these bans kind of interesting, I would say. I do like the Cho'Gath ban. It has been a powerful pick for Miho up towards the top side of the map. And the Karma, while I will maybe question that one just a little bit here. I don't know if that is really something that you want to see again up towards the top side or in the mid lane here for this Omega Gaming roster. I do want to see something that is maybe a little more oriented to a hard counter top. I would save that for the last pick and then maybe give Princeton something nice and safe and reliable in the mid lane.
Yeah, I think they're a little worried about the karma being flexed between the top and the bottom lane, or the top and the mid lane here, since the rel it has been shown, because they want to be able. I think Glaive wants to be able to counter pick a lane themselves. They want to be able to have comfortable matchups for both of their solo laners. So it's a decent ban, and the GP ban coming out, maybe calling Simulcrum
Ooh.
on what they were trying to set up for here as the Renekton comes through. And the Ornn
Ooh.
is the hover. Let's see. There are some
Ooh.
counter picks into the Renekton if you want. Let's see
It's
what
gonna
they
be on,
actually
right?
go for. It's
It's gonna
good.
be
I
on,
mean,
right?
he's played a lot of
It's gonna
Ornn.
be on, right?
But Glaive seems to be having a little bit of fun in the draft, trying to troll us here on the desk. But that's part of the fun of the game as well. The Rel pick I do want to touch on. I feel like you're sort of countering yourself here. The Alistar, a known good matchup into Rel because you're able to stop a lot of her engage. But maybe in these mid-game team fights, the Renekton, Volibear, and Rel engage are just a little bit too much for the Alistar to deal with, which is why I
Mhm.
really like the Ornn pickup, right? The Ornn is going to be able to accomplish a similar thing, but also can dive onto the back line if need be. As we get a hover of every single champion in the video game.
Yep, every single champion here. Zig's going to be the final. No, the victor. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, that will get locked up in here. And that is quite the pick there. Again, Glaive Esports Rose here with the scaling composition. Although they haven't really needed to scale, these games have been over relatively quickly and relatively decisively, decided by the Glaive Esports Rose here. But the Yone going to get picked up here in the mid lane, and that is going to be Princeton piloting this champion. You have a lot of all-in dive here, but I do believe that we are looking at an all AD comp. Actually, really realistically, coming out here from Omega Gaming, you do have a little bit of the magic damage that is given by the Yone. Sure, Volibear has his thunder that he can bring down from the skies that does a little bit of AP, but generally speaking, the damage type here really allows this Ornn to pretty much just build out full armor and kind of make really effective use of that. So it's going to be interesting to see exactly how Omega Gaming is going to play this one. I don't want to, I would not want to be Omega Gaming Unleashed and kind of get caught in those 5-on-5 team fights towards the later stages of this game, because you are just never going to be killing this Alistar or this Ornn.
Yeah, I like the idea they're going for. I think they're trying to scale, and I do think their composition scales a lot better. But I do think that having all AD into an Ornn and an Alistar and a couple of champions, all three other champions are okay building some armor. I have seen Kaisa go for the Zonia's Hourglass in certain situations where she needs some extra armor. It's a little bit suspicious, but I do like Omega coming out with a different look, a different game plan, trying to throw something new at Glaive to eke out a win here, not just throwing in the towel and trying the same old thing over and over again. Yone and Tristana can carry if you do have a good early game. There's not too much armor on the enemy team. I think they're going to be okay. And they do have some good side lane pressure here. If Victor and Ornn are trying to match Renekton and Yone, I think that that's an
Mhm.
option for them as well. Putting those two champions on the side lane and letting one of them abuse the Victor or the Ornn in a matchup that they can win.
Yeah, and I will say it's all dependent on really getting ahead early here. Renekton, not exactly a champion that you want to leave on an island, because I think his usefulness does fall off towards the later stages against that Ornn. Ornn, being as tanky as he is, kind of can just absorb those waves towards the late game, whether he is playing into the Yone or the Renekton. So I feel like Glaive Esports always has an answer for that side wave here, with that Ornn being able to kind of just absorb those waves under tower, not be pushing too far up. And it'll be interesting to see how they do decide to play around that, because if this Yone or Renekton do not get the type of advantage that they need in this early phase of the game, the Victor is just going to be way too strong uh, towards the later stages. So, whew, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be a tough one. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, a tough one indeed. It is a different look, but it may be the hardest draft to play yet, which is does not bode well for Omega Gaming. But like I said, these solo laners are on some volatile picks, are on some high various champions, and they are the ones that have been trying their darndest to make plays and keep their team in this. So let's watch, keep an eye on those solo lanes, and see if they can pull it off.
Absolutely, indeed, here. And we will be switching it on up here, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to go on over into our intermission, and we will see Chief Chirpa and Gungeon there getting ready to cast game number 3 here of the Excellency Spring 2021 Mid-League Finals. Do not go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. Will Glaive Esports be able to take the title here, or will Omega Gaming Unleashed be able to play the upset? Do not go anywhere. We'll catch you in a bit.
What is up, everyone? Welcome back to the Excellency Mid-League Spring Finals. We have Glaive eSports Rose took the first 2 games against Omega Gaming Unleashed. We will see if they can take another one, or if Omega Gaming Unleashed will take this one back and reverse sweep this best of 5.
Yeah, we're going to see if the start of the reverse sweep happens or if this is the last game for Excellency Mid-League Spring. Obviously, we want as many games as possible as we see a somewhat of an invade from the side of Omega Gaming, as they do have a little bit of the stronger top side, but they are spotted here. Victor has the come around, but probably is not going to do the gravity field drop on him. Just going to proc his mana flow and walk away. I am interested in how this draft kind of played out, and I know Stone and ID were talking about it, and I kind of want to go into it a little bit more for the side of Glaive and Omega Gaming Unleashed. For the side of Glaive, again, we do see the Kaisa pickup for Kiba, and again, it is beating a dead horse, but this guy is undefeated on this champion, or I believe it's actually 95%. I think he lost 1 game versus Beastlance's Jinx. But besides that, he is 95% wins with, I believe, 11 to 12 games on it. So it is a very comfortable pick for him. For the side of Omega, they end up taking the Trist and... They actually end up taking the Volley and Trist, which I want to mention is very interesting because for the side of Omega Gaming, this bot lane's been so many ups and downs at this point, where in the first game, it was Varus, Nautilus, and they were kind of like going even. The play was to go even and just like don't feed. And then in the second game, they're like, we're playing Misfortune Karma, Misfortune take Comet. We are just going to concede the lane. Let's just not die. Now they're like, let's just play Tristan or Rel. Let's try to kill them. Why not? And I think at the end of the day, they end up picking the Trist Rel in the first round. And they actually end up getting counterpicked because the Ally pick into the Rel is really strong because it's able to kind of disengage any of the... both of the champions are able to kind of really hard disengage either of them. So it's going to be really on the 80Ks to kind of set up some of the plays and some of the moves. So I'm going to be interested to see how this bot lane plays out because in Game 1, Game 2, we've seen the Kiba show over and over again. And he's been such a big factor in the dominance of Glaive eSports in Game 1 and 2 of this best of 5.
Yeah, Kiba has definitely done his fair share of putting the team on his back. Let's see if the rest of the team in this game will be doing the same. And let me ask you, Gungeon, what did you say in the loading screen to me?
I think I said a lot of things, and some of those can't be said on broadcast, but...
No, about McShoot.
Oh, McShoots. Oh, I said level 2 gank Elise, 100% bet every channel point I have on it. I'm surprised McShoots didn't actually play for this because he had such a... This is one of the weaknesses of Elise as we see the invade happening. Ornn is walking, but they should have the 2v2 here for the side of Fallen Artemis. Oh, he's going for it.
Yeah, Fallen Artemis forces the flash on McShoot. The flash engage Smallcrum. Going to grab that first kill. Now Miho getting caught out by 2 members, and Totemak getting pinged to go back. Miho doesn't stand a chance. Forced to flash away. Will Fallen Artemis be able to get it? Miho actually gets away from that one.
And that's actually really good on Omega Gaming to just punish the kind of brazen confidence that Glaive eSports have been playing with. Oh my god, no!
Just stop getting just...
Not like this!
Not like this. Just stop taking so much damage to Obama and say with the heal from Kiba that will net a kill going over to Glaive eSports.
I was just gonna praise Omega Gaming. I was just gonna say this is such a good play mid lane. Totemak should just flash here. Oh, he's gonna be able to escape.
Yeah, he just gets the gravity field to make shoot. The most important thing, he's still level 2.
McShoot is just trying his best to get this bot side goal. He's gonna pick it up because of the bot lane advantage that Kiba and Issei possess right now. I was gonna mention, really good on Omega Gaming to kind of just punish the brazen confidence that Glaive kind of play every single game with. Because again, Fallen Artemis on this Volibear pick. Volibear right now clears his jungle at such a quick and rapid speed. He does so much damage to camps. He's just kind of able to blitz the jungle as quick as possible. He's blitzed both camps plus I believe the wolf camp, and he's just able to make the play onto McShoots, and McShoots just kind of just says, I'm gonna try to fight you, dude. Like McShoots doesn't even try to like walk away from the play. He just tries to fight him. Good interrupt there by Issei. Is this another double? Oh god, it's happening. Chief, it's happening again. They can't keep getting away with this.
The Kiba def
getting away with this.
Yeah, Kiba diff right now. Smallcrum just trying to duke it out with this Mio, but Ornn is so good into trades sometimes. Probably going to pick up an early Bramble Vest against Smallcrum. Not too sure, but that would probably be what I would do if I was Smallcrum or Miho.
Yeah, and again, Miho at the start of this, Excellency Mid League, I remember I would always talk to Mac Dewey about how he was like an Aurelia player, and he could play some of these like champs like the Camille, some of the bruisers and the kind of the top lane carry champs, and now it's kind of sad to see he's kind of been devolved down to a tank player, but he's just filling in his role and he does it really well. His trading, especially on this Ornn pick, is really always really great. He kind of plays top lane with very low econ, and he's able to do it super well. So I'm not surprised at all that Miho is kind of just getting the job done. I did want to mention just the kind of differential that's happening in the bot lane right now with the kill plus the wave that he's able to crash fully in the tower. Kiba's already sitting on a new quiver at 6 minutes in, and we can see again and again how Glaive eSports get their leads in the early game. It's in every single game this series, it's always been bot lane gets an advantage and they translate it over to the rest of the map. And in that situation, you could see, even with how far behind McShoots was, he was able to get bot side scuttle because his bot lane was winning. He's able to get first Infernal Dragon even when he's far behind from Fallen Artemis because of his bot lane's win. Just in the straight 2v2. And it's one of those things that's so frustrating as a jungler because Fallen Artemis can make the right plays, he can do it all that he wants, but when your bot lane is just getting gapped by Kiba and Issei over and over again, it's just really hard to get anything done. And I'm interested to see how this Tristana Rel lane does end up playing around out as the game kind of scales in. Rel is a very strong champion just because of how much engage she has. There's a lot of short-range characters with Totemax on this Victor that kind of has to walk up into these fights. The problem is you can already see Kiba is setting up the wave, he's slow pushing it, and with McShoots in the area, probably going to have to reset. But we are going to see a lot of bot lane focus. When Kiba has a lead, Glaive isn't just content with just letting him make the lead. If Kiba gets a lead, they're going to push it home. We saw it in game number 2 where they immediately broke bot lane outer tower at like, I think it was like 13 minutes, and we're probably going to see it again.
I think it was a little bit earlier than that even. Both junglers? Yeah.
No, you're good. I was just going to say, it's just great to see a team play around bot lane. I remember the days we used to just watch Fasting Sun and Excellency Mid League, and I would just watch bot lane with a tear in my eye, and it's just great to see Kiba just kind of bring the kind of the pain back to the bot lane.
As long as it's not Sona Tom Kench meta again. Princeton looking for the engage, pops the ulti, but Totemax with the perfect flash. The Stormbringer from Fallen Artemis netting that kill over, is not able to gravity field the jumping bear.
Yeah, and again, Totemax there having shallow wards. He thought maybe he was safe just playing up. He wasn't even playing up that far, but he had shallow vision and he wasn't able to spot out Fallen Artemis. Good engage by both Fallen Artemis and Princeton, getting some sort of lead for the side of Omega Gaming. But again, you are still bleeding down in the bot lane. Someone is going to have to help, and we will probably see that soon as both top and mid lane does have teleports up, and they are going to be saving it to try to make a play around this bot lane.
Yeah, the sub being forced to just use his engage as disengage just to get out, and Kiba not even looking to engage on this one as Issei just making sure that Adjustment can't do anything in this lane.
Issei is so disrespectful. He just kind of walks up to both of them and he's just like, you won't do anything to me. And he just kind of combos them for the damage, which is great to see. We do have Fallen Artemis down here with the Predator boots coming up. He's looking for it.
Yeah, Issei with the triple pulverized. Kiba dashing around, forced to flash. Kiba looking to do anything, running away from Fallen Artemis. Can't outrun this, popping the honey fruit. TP coming in from Miho, but Fallen Artemis, Kiba, you're running away from your team.
Kiba's, again, they get punished, and finally it feels like the Glaive aggression, maybe Omega Gaming is kind of figured out. Glaive will play disrespectful constantly, and they do it all the time in the bot lane. Great play by Fallen Artemis to punish that. It kind of equalizes the gold lead between both of the 80 carries. There's still a 500 gold lead for the side of Kiba, but great play by Fallen Artemis, great play by Omega Gaming. And again, there's some signs of life here. This is not just a foregone conclusion for a 3-0 sweep.
Definitely not. Princeton may be looking for some sort of trade here, but McShoots, please don't die to Raptors. Hoo-hoo.
I feel like
McShoots
McShoots versus Raptors might be like the most engaging jungle matchup we've seen in a long time.
Why are you taking red buff? No! This could be really bad.
I think he'll be fine. There's no way McShoots dies into a camp. We do see Fallen Armors just sitting mid, trying to get the lane push so that Princeton can take maybe some sort of reset, or they can kind of walk towards this Cloud Dragon. They did end up forcing Miho's TP, and now with the TP advantage, as well as the control in the bot lane, they are going to try to push for the... Oh, engage!
Yeah, here comes the Justin with the triple backflip in. Ultimate coming out from Princeton. Easy kill going over to Adjustment. Kiba stepping up a little bit too far. This could turn into a bit of a good game.
A bit of a good game indeed, and great play by the side of Omega Gaming. It felt like Kiba and Issei again are playing just a little bit too disrespectful. Totemax should get caught here.
With the Stormbringer coming out, here comes the Ornhorn. Ornhorn being called. That gravity field is huge, but Totemax is running away from his teammate as Mio doesn't stand a chance against Simulacrum. Mio forced to flash over the wall to Simulacrum, maybe looking for a dash, but Fallen Artemis is huge right now.
They end up burning both of the flashes from both of the solo laners there, and great play by Omega Gaming. They're constantly punishing the over-aggression of Glaive eSports Rose, and you can kind of see, it feels like Glaive eSports are kind of stuck in that mindset from game 1 and 2, where they're like, yeah, we're ahead, we have the vision control, we have this, we have that, and they don't have perfect vision, they don't have any of this, and they're getting punished over and over again, and you can say they're just getting gold, they're just getting kills, but eventually, when you can feed this much gold into characters like the Yone, into the Tristana, this is going to get really bad really quick if Glaive eSports don't kind of start respecting their elders here.
Yeah,
Could be a dive.
this could be a dive indeed. Simulacrum being pretty low, Miho being pretty low as well, so I doubt that they will actually dive this one. But I'm not really sure what's going on right now. Totemax getting caught out with his pants down again. No Stormbringer available for Fallen Artemis. Otherwise, that exactly would have been a great turret dive.
Again, you're from the way you're phrasing it, you're kind of also shaking your head like, what is happening? Like, how is it feels like Glaive is kind of getting rolled in these early games, and it's just due to the vision control that Omega Gaming are possessing. They're the ones that have control in all of these jungle entrances, so they know for a fact that Glaive doesn't have more members in any of these lanes that Fallen Artemis is making plays around, and they're just punishing them over and over again. They end up dropping the Rift Herald just to get a little bit of gold onto McShoots and Totemax, but overall, this early game has gone really well for the side of Omega Gaming Unleash. They are going to have to keep it going, though. I mentioned this in game number 2. You cannot give a team like Glaive eSports any sort of window to stay into this game. You have the lead. You need to keep trying to push it. You have your AD carry at such a strong point right now. You need to break this bot lane tower and get her out so she can start snowballing the rest of the map.
For sure, McShoots and Issei looking for some sort of play. The miss flash from McShoots, as that is Princeton going down to the max.
Princeton flashes into McShoots' flash cocoon, and it is a tragic play there. Princeton doesn't have the TP, and now this mid lane outer tower is very likely to just die, but it looks like Glaive just might want to just take the bot side jungle. I'm surprised that was the call there, because it felt like with the tower plating gone, they could have just killed mid lane outer and maybe rotated they could have rotated maybe Kiva and Issei out of this bot lane, but don't want to break it. They're just looking for a player down bot, but Adjustment and Sub has spelled this out.
Yep, the Sub
oh no!
Maybe going in a little bit too deep, but 2 to max is a little bit too low as the Sub grab and McShoot. And 2 to max falling there as well. Killer Instinct being popped, Adjustment forced to flash away.
What a great play by the Sub there. It felt like he was kind of charging into it blind, but he must have spotted the players of Glaive eSports there on that blue buff ward. Great double kill for the side of Omega Gaming bot lane and more.
Yup, it's say getting that knockback, getting that pulverize, but there's a bomb stuck to your head, buddy. Adjustment trying to go right back in, and Issei just trying to do anything he can. Kiba forced to flash on away. This could be a turn, but Kiba, I'm guessing, cannot 3v1 this one.
You say Kiba can't 3v1, but I've seen weirder and stranger things in Excellency mid-league. But great play by Omega Gaming. It feels like they're kind of on the ball in this early game, and they're just punishing Glaive over and over again for those things that I mentioned. It's what gets Glaive ahead. It's the aggression, the way they play, the style that they play the game. But it's also when they're behind, it can cause them to fall further and further behind as Totemac's getting ganked again.
Yeah, Totemac's just barely getting out of range of that, getting smited. Smite, whatever it's called. McShoots is going to be caught taking this Rift Herald, though.
Yeah, McShoots
that could just be a cancel.
Yeah, it might just. Oh, and it does end up canceling. Simulacrum was not in the top lane at the point, so they weren't able to kind of force it. They do end up picking the bot lane outer tower for Kiba, but this is gonna be a big fight.
This will be a big fight indeed. The knockup from Miho as the sub is rotating down. Issei is also here. Horn being popped. Miho is in no place to recall it. And Artemis getting dueled by McShoots. What are you doing? This is a 3v1 right now. As the sub is able to zone off to the max, and Issei, as that turns from a 3v4 to a 2v4.
And this is I think this is like a situation that happens in a lot of best of five, especially when a team is kind of handily winning. It feels like Glaive eSports think that they're the same Glaive from game 1 and 2, where they could make plays like not having all of the members or not having Kiba in these fights, and they're like, yeah, we're just strong enough to beat you. But that was a different game. That was a different like set of circumstances at all. They're going for these fights and they're so disrespectful because right now Omega Gaming has the lead. They have the items. They had the item breakpoints, and now it feels like Omega Gaming has a kind of a grasp on this game as this Ocean Dragon is spawning. Everybody on the side of Omega has their item breakpoints, and this should be huge.
Yeah, this could be huge. The repel being popped by McShoots. TP coming in from Miho gets the knockup, gets that breath. Fallen Artemis is in the back line.
Where's
Here comes
Kiba?
Killer Instinct. Kiba is doing it out with Princeton, but is going to be taken out by Adjustment. Fallen Artemis gets over the shutdown to Max. One of the last people left to go. Adjustment taking a lot of damage. Simulacrum also taking so much. The sustained damage from Victor is huge. Max doing so much. Just being stunned, and Princeton being taken out. Triple kill over to Max. Could that be the quadra? That will be the quadra kill. Max carrying this one out.
Adjustment, what are you doing? Adjustment just trying to malfight ulti as Tristana. He just jumps into the middle of the team and absolutely kills himself, and that's such a terrible situation for the side of Omega Gaming. They had the control. Kiba killed himself with the killer instinct, but Adjustment said, I'll do you one better, dashes into the middle of the fight, and Totemax comes a big. I said this in the pre-show, when it comes to situations like this, Totemax always performs. You can count on this guy to make the consistently clutch plays that carries these team fights. And now it feels like I'm a broken record, but at 23 minutes in, there's going to be an Ocean Soul timer for the side of Glaive eSports Rose, and the game is now completely even.
That was such a great comeback. The Glaive eSports up in towers, up in Drakes, even down in kills, but they're still just even.
They're just even, and all of that gold in that team fight was funneled all onto Totemax, and he picked up 2 big shutdowns onto the Volibear, an extra 300 gold onto Adjustments Tristana, an extra 400 gold. In that fight, Totemax, I think, earned about 2,500 gold. It gets him up to that Zanya's Hourglass, so he's now less susceptible to getting dove by Fallen Artemis and Princeton, and now this feels like it's going to be a Totemax game. And with Ocean Soul being on the plate for the side of Glaive eSports Rose, it just feels like they had the game in their hands. Omega Gaming had the plot. They had what they needed to do. But now it just feels scarier and scarier. He's going to get engaged on, though.
Yeah, Totemax getting knocked back. Buster shot just enough. Shutdown going over to Adjustment. As a slight bit of a misplay there by Totemax.
I hype up Glaive eSports members, and then they try to take 1v3s by themselves. Totemax knew that those people were coming down river. He had the vision in the mid side to know that they were walking in. He opted for that 1v3. Don't put that on me. That is not a caster curse. That is a player curse right there. That is a Glaive eSports curse. I do want to say, if I see Glaive get a 20-minute Baron again, I'm going to lose my mind. This should be spotted out from every member on the side of Omega Gaming, but it feels like they're going to sneak it again.
That is...
No,
don't do this to our boy at Omega
Just
Gaming.
watch.
Issei is just trying to do whatever he can, as it looks like it's just a fight. Samalkum being caught out by this Kaisa, as Fallen Artemis is able to smite it. That's the Baron steal there for Omega Gaming. This is what they're looking for. Issei gets the stun adjustment, flashing over the wall. Kiba so close. The burn from Red buff enough. Triple kill over to Kiba.
He has the fight, but everybody on the side of Omega Gaming also tries to just run it in, and they get wiped. And again, you give over the Baron, but it doesn't matter. You got 4 kills for the side of Glaive eSports Rose. You get the mid tower, and now the gold lead. Again, it is favored for the side of Omega Gaming Unleashed, but again, control of the river, control is just on the side of Glaive eSports Rose. This is the closest game we've seen in the series.
Well, this is definitely going to be one great game, and we're only 20 minutes in. Baron's already taken. We're almost at soul point in another 2 minutes. This could be the game of a lifetime, the comeback of a lifetime for Omega Gaming.
And again, it feels chippy, and you want to say, like, even if Omega Gaming win, it's just a fluke. They just fluked into a win. But you need games like this. You need chippy games like this to win, because at the end of the day, to reverse sweep, to kind of have a chance in the best of 5, you just need a win. You just need one win to kind of build that confidence, build the thing that says, guys, we can beat them. They were dominant in the regular season, but we have the chance, we have the ability, we have the players. So even if it is a chippy game, and for the side of Glaive eSports, it's just dominant 1-2 woes, it doesn't matter. Games like this are ones that you have to win, and I want to see Princeton and Adjustment kind of step up and be the players for their team.
Yeah, Dominus being popped as well as the Ornhorn being called. Mio dealing a lot of damage, but Smallcomb gets so much healing from that Divine Thunderer. I was just about to ask you, do you think that Divine Thunderer is Big Brain or Troll? But there it kind of turned out Big Brain. Princeton maybe getting caught out here by Tudamax, but Adjustment taking a lot of damage. Bomb stuck. Tudamax has had TP coming in from Smallcomb. Princeton grabbing that easy kill on Make Shoot. Here comes that Stormbringer as it is safe. Gonna be the next one to fall. Double kill over to Smallcomb. Kiba, the last one alive.
What is Totemax doing? I don't, like, I played Victor a decent amount, and it felt like in that fight, Totemax is just so disrespectful. He just walks up to the sub, not like the sub's not going to just flash ult to you as Rel. He gets caught, he gets the bomb from Adjustment, and again, over and over again, even with Glaive eSports Rose being, it feels like the better team in the series, they are just so disrespectful because you didn't need to go for that fight. You had Ocean Dragon coming up right now, but now you don't have positioning for it, but they're still gonna fight for this. And the big thing to know is that I don't think they're gonna make it in time. I think it's just gonna be the Dragon for the side. Yeah. Sorry to interrupt you, but just a really bad misplay from the side of Glaive eSports. They just tried to make plays when it didn't need to happen, and they get punished for it.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. Just, it's not smart to make plays when there's not objectives on the map, especially when you can throw it pretty easily. You didn't have Miho there. It's already a 4v5. You don't stand a chance in that.
It's not that they didn't have Miho, and Simulcrum obviously had to TP in as well. But the big thing was Totemax was just like walking into 3 people and was like, I'm better than you. I'm gonna dodge your abilities and kill you. And Sub was like, okay, I'll just kill you. Like, the thing is, you can try to outplay as much as you want, but when Sub flash W ulti ease you, there's no outplay. There's nothing you can do. You just die. And Totemax there just absolutely kind of greased the fight, and McShoot's dead.
Yeah, McShoots, what are you doing? You're flashing away when there's a bomb stuck to your head. Pops that smite just to get a little bit of healing by Princeton. Catches out McShoots in the enemy jungle. Not where you want to be.
Did I just watch an Elise try to invade into a jungle where she had 0 vision at 24 minutes in? That's some quality Glaive aggression right there, boys.
Quality League of Legends right here, guys.
I do want to mention, and the big thing that I wanted to talk about in that team fight was that not only did that team fight end up giving the Ocean Dragon over to Omega and kind of delaying that soul point, as more and more as this game goes on, Simulacrum is stacking on the items. Princeton is now at that 100% crit chance ratio. These champions have their items down. Glaive cannot make the same missteps or the same cocky plays because now the champions on the side of Omega Gaming have the items to punish you, and Miho's just dead.
Yeah, just in a 4v1 fight, caught a little bit out, does get the turret for it. With these 4-man kill squads that Omega Gaming has decided to pull out, what's the game plan for Glaive here? What is the cure that Glaive needs to pull out, Doc?
So if they want to do a 1-3-1 like that, where they have Miho and Totemak splitting in the side lanes with TP, you need to have the mid lane wave set up, or you need to have the bot lane side wave set up. But at that point, Kiba and Issei and Totemax were not set up to like kind of respond to any of that situation, so that was just a free kill on Miho. They just basically redeemed a Miho death coupon right there. And it was absolutely free, and there's nothing that Glaive can do because at that point, Miho's just stepping up way too far. You don't need to die like that because right now, what that does is all of the vision control that Glaive has around the Baron Pit is now completely wiped because Miho's not on the map. Obviously, Miho's gonna be he's gonna be alive for the team fight, but now the control of this Baron Pit is so gone, and now Glaive is either gonna have to force a play and try to get control back, or they're gonna have to face check into Omega Gaming's comp.
I really like what Totemax is doing right now. He's splitting, getting objectives. If they can't have Baron, they may as well get an in-hit for it. But no, Totemax, don't back off. The instant gratification of the shutdown over to Kiba. The Ornhorn being called with the 3-man knockup. Fallen Arm popping that shield. The Kaisa ult was already used. Gungeon Fallen Arm is out to the Stormbringer. The magnetic attraction by the sub. The locket not going to be enough. It's a huge from adjustment. And from Princeton, it's just taking everything. Mio at about 1,000 HP. But that's a team wipe. All just for Kiba.
It's a team wipe, and at the start of that, it looked so good for the side of Simulacrum. He caught Kiba, but there's not enough damage in that Croc, Doc. He tried to one-shot the AD carry, but he gets one-shot himself. And on the back end of that team fight, it looked like Princeton was going to be the big hero. He was going to make the play that got them back into the series, but at the end of the day, there's just not enough manpower. There's just not enough people. There's not enough damage. And at 27 minutes in, Glaive eSports finally pick up their first Baron as the first, their first Baron as the first Baron of the game was stolen from them.
It's very good that they eventually got that Baron. It's just like last game or 2 games ago, I forgot which one, whereas that one fight where the enemy trying to take Baron, but the turnaround play from Kiba and from Totemax is just so impactful as this next Drake is coming up, and I do think Omega Gaming is going to have the advantage here with positioning.
They have the positioning advantage, but in terms of itemization... Ooh, sub!
Sub! Getting caught out, just getting knocked up. And here comes Kiba in the backline. Adjustment taking so much damage, but that was a bit of a throw. Simulacrum now going to be caught out. Princeton forced to flash over the wall, and Simulacrum caught out. That is a 1-for-1 trade ADC for support. You like those trades if you are Omega Gaming.
It's a good trade, but the positioning around the Dragon is lost. Princeton is trying his best to heal as much as possible. Simulacrum just got caught out.
Yep, Simulacrum just trying to heal up as much as he can. Gets stunned out by his say. As Totemax, what are you doing? Going golden. Finally does get that kill. Princeton going in with that ultimate. Mix shoots. Just duking it out with Fallen Artemis. And he does eventually get that kill. Went from like level 2 versus level 5 versus now completely even 4 and 6 as this Ocean Soul going to try to be taken to Princeton may be looking for the steal play here.
He's going for it.
He's definitely going for it. He's looking for it, but the knockback from Issei is enough to keep him out. Princeton not getting that one as here comes Kiba. Princeton, what are you doing? You can't duke it out with 2v1. With the Wormfallen Sacrifice, plus the extra 2 items, just so powerful.
Great play by Glaive Esports there, and you can see kind of the seasoned like late game shot calling. This is one of those situations where a lot of teams don't ever make it to late game like this versus Glaive, and so Glaive, you can see kind of like the prowess that they have as like the veteran and the kind of the leaders of the pack in Excellency Mid League, where they have kind of this. Even when games get really chippy like this, and we're just seeing fights all around, and there's just like little skirmishes and outplays happening, Glaive still have the decision making there, making sure that there's absolutely no chance of a Princeton steal. And now with the Ocean Dragon, and I did want to mention, and you mentioned it yourself, the Wormfall and Sacrifice, the Ornn items are coming in. Totemax has his Ornn item, Kiba has his Ornn items, they have Baron, they have Ocean Soul. This is now prime time for Glaive Esports Rose to finally strike the nail in the coffin, finally strike the nail in the coffin for the series. But Omega Gaming are still in this game. The gold lead is still only 2,000 gold. If you overstep, if you get caught out, you can still throw the game for your team. And Princeton is so close to turning these fights. He's just about 1 to 2 item ways from just wiping these teams because he's getting great ultis, great damage in these fights. He's just not strong enough right now.
For sure. And I think Glaive Esports are just looking to force this one down as Miho and Tudamax being this front line. I don't really like Tudamax stepping up this far, but I mean, the flash engage from the sub, and here comes Princeton with the ulti and the Stormbringer. It's the wombo combo. McShoot's going golden. McShoot's running away. Tudamax just trying to kill him again. Kiba is dead right now as Tudamax grabs almost the gun to the sub, goes golden again. As he's just gonna get taken out under tower, does trade the kill on it to adjustment, as that is a 4-for-2 trade.
It's a 4-for-2 trade, and what a beautiful engage by the sub there. What great rel gameplay we're seeing. Gets a massive magnet storm into a great Yona ulti. I forget what the name is, sorry. Fate sealed. What a combo there by the side of Omega Gaming. Then they catch McShoots.
Shoots, what are you doing? You can't be getting caught out like this, man. And now you're just staggering yourself. You don't stagger your death. You want to be back up as soon as possible.
Mega Gaming is super smart because if they can stagger the death more and more, they can make it so that he's going to be dead around the time when you have to contest the Baron vision. This is super smart play by the side of Omega Gaming.
McShoots is just trying to run away, but death staggered so much. Almost every member of Glaive Esports is now back up, as Baron is coming up in about a minute 10.
Yeah, Baron's gonna be up in a minute 10. They're gonna be able to reset, get the wards, get all of the items they need to make sure that this vision around Baron is Omega Gaming favored, and great play by both teams. It's just so chippy, and you can see it's so close right now. Even with the Ocean Soul, it doesn't matter. Even with the Ornn items, the engage range. Oh my god, Kiba.
Kiba getting cut out, getting stunned, taking so much, flashing over the walls. Here comes the Horn, but the bait sealed is huge, but the second knockup and the third knockup from Mio is also very
Kiba can't fight.
Say is so large, Kiba is way too low. Mio taking so much damage. Samolcrum being taken on so low. Will he die? He will not. The flashing in from Say adjustment being taken on to about 1,000 HP. Kiba grabbing the kill onto the sub.
Kiba ends up picking up the kill, and you can see the effectiveness of Ocean Soul. Kiba was like 100 health, but it doesn't matter. He's able to walk away from the fight, heal up, and he comes back in, and that is a huge kill because the sub was the big engage. He's the one that's able to make these fights happen, and Glaive Esports is saying, screw the Baron. We're just gonna try to go for the kill here.
Yeah, they're looking for the final blow. Just, you should have gone for the head, Omega Gaming was saying, and Glaive Esports says, you know what? We will go for the head this time. Stun on Smallcom. Smallcom being taken on solo. The repel from McShoots is huge. Here comes Stormbringer. Fallen Artemis is focusing to the max, but Princeton is in the backline. They're all mixed up right now, as that is a 4-for-0 trade. Nexus is going down. Glaive Esports and the sub making one last final play, but it's not enough. Glaive Esports takes it 3-0.
Glaive Esports Rose are your champions of the Excellency Spring Mid League. What great play out of this entire group. And again, it was chippy, it was messy, it was dirty, it was whatever you want to call it, but it was effective. And Glaive Esports Rose pick up the 3-0 over Omega Gaming Unleashed. What a great final game. What a back and forth fight from both of these teams. But at the end of the day, the better team prevailed. And what a win from Glaive Esports Rose.
Yeah, what an absolute win from Glaive Esports Rose, taking it 3-0. That is absolutely awesome. A lot quicker than any of the semifinal games.
Yeah, a lot quicker than the semifinals games. Obviously, Glaive Esports had such a dominant path, just 6-0ing their way into the Excellency Mid League Spring Cup. But you can't say that it wasn't messy. Obviously, that last game was super chippy and is super close. But at the end of the day, I said this, when it gets rough, when it gets tough, the players that prevail are Totemax and Kiba. They were all pro first team for a reason. They make the plays that win you the game, and it was close. It felt like it was going to turn. It felt like there was always a chance of hope for Omega Gaming. Don't just because it was a 3-0 doesn't make it seem like it was just an absolute wash, because the first two games obviously they were rough, but in game number 3 they switched up the play. They tried to go blow for blow against Glaive Esports Rose and they took them to the brink, but it just wasn't enough.
To the brink of annihilation. Glaive Esports taking it 3-0. I do believe we are going to be getting our interview in on Kiba tonight.
Yes, the Glaive 80 carry, the one that kind of changed it up. It felt like Glaive was kind of, again, still at that top tier dog, but it didn't feel like they had the oomph until Kiba comes in and makes kind of the deciding factor. And for my finals match, I would give him finals MVP. Great play by Kiba, and we will be having the interview set up shortly. While we're getting the interview set up, I just want to talk about Chief, kind of the entire mid league, you know?
Oh yeah,
Um,
definitely.
we had a lot of ups and downs. Oh, I think we have Kiba now.
We do have Kiba.
Hello, hello.
Hello, hello. What a finals series. What a final game to kind of close it out, Kiba. Before we start with the questions, is there anything you want to say? Congrats on winning Excellency Mid League Spring.
Thank you, appreciate it. Yeah, I guess just GG's to Omega and good job to my team. Was a pretty hard fought series, especially that last game. It's kind of cringe, but yeah, GG's.
The last, I know that from your point of view, it could be cringe, but for us, we were having a ton of fun casting it. I do want to ask you, going into the series, what were some of the things that you guys were kind of focusing on going against Omega Gaming when you hadn't? Obviously, they had that week off where they weren't able to play a semifinals matchup. What were
Mhm.
the things you guys were focusing on, and what was the game plan going into the series?
Um, I mean, if you want the truth, we knew Omega was a good team. Like we've been facing Omega for since beginning of last season, like this exact team. So we kind of knew a lot about them, but we didn't really come in with a real game plan. Like we only practiced yesterday since our semifinals match, and that was just a few flex games. Like to be honest, we didn't come prepared at all. So I'm surprised like it turned out like this, but um, I think overall our team has just been playing together for so long now, and we got like a good our core's put together, and we all know how each other plays. So we just play to our strengths, and it works. So
Yeah, and that's one of the things I love about you guys is that you guys, it never feels like you guys kind of like capitulate to the other team. It always feels like you guys are playing your game and you're always,
mhm.
again, I talk about this on stream, the Glaive aggressiveness. I see you guys are just incredibly disrespectful a lot of the times, and it's what makes you guys fun to watch and what makes you guys kind of win games in like 25-minute blowouts, but it's also what makes games like that game number 3 super chippy. So it's kind of a love it and hate it, but I love it. I love the entertainment factor. I do want to go into, as the 80 carry for this team, it's not that this team is built around you or like they're supremely focused on getting you ahead, but it feels like a lot of the times it's just a gap in this bot lane. What
Mhm.
is it like to play with Issa, and what is it like as just kind of just talk me through what that bot lane experience is like?
Um, ugh. Laning with Issei is a lot of fun. Yeah, like we've played multiple leagues now, and it's been a lot of the same thing with me and him. Like we gap a lot, but um, that's like our main focus is like winning lane, hard winning lane, then us two going around carrying. Like I think that's the beauty of me and Issei playing together is there's not one true carry. Like he's just as much of a carry as I am. So yeah, you're right. Typically, we don't really play around bot. Like the most we might like do is like maybe a dive here or there, or like try to burn a flash because like that pretty much just secures lane for us. But for the most part, it is just me and Issei 2v2ing, and then TK who are Totemax and what's our jungler's name? McShoot'em and McShoot'em's running around together and doing their own
Yeah,
thing.
the
Yeah.
inting Elise in this game number 3.
It's
No,
strategic.
strategic indeed. Um, Chief, do you have any specific questions before I kind of hit? I have a hard hitting questions for my
Mm,
final one.
I do not.
Okay, going into this game number 3,
mhm,
obviously you're 2-0 in. You're feeling
mhm.
good. You've completely stomped game 1 and 2. How much of game 3 and how much of that entire back and forth was just overconfidence? Because it felt like you guys were making plays that if you guys were in game 1 and 2 would have worked. Like the 4v5s or like fighting when you're not there or fighting in situations where you guys don't have perfect vision and Totemax kind of overstepping constantly. How do you kind of reset the mental there, you know? Because it's like, oh, guys, we're super far ahead in game 1, 2. We can do kind of whatever we want. But in game 3, you're getting punished over and over again. Who is the one resetting, and what do you guys say to yourselves to kind of reset the mental and focus in on what's ahead of you?
Mhm. So that game, I wouldn't even say it was like us being cocky or anything since we won the first two games. Like that legit just happens to us sometimes. Like we just kind of int. Like it's kind of disgusting. I mean, even going back to like you guys saw us versus AOE in regular season. Like game one, we stomped them. Game two, we just inted. Like it's just something that kind of happens with us. But mental wise, it wasn't too bad. Like no one was really getting too frustrated except for Big Shoot'em. She was pretty pissed. But everyone else was pretty much just chilling and like reassuring everyone. Like I don't know, there wasn't much need for that. Like I knew everyone knew we were chill and like they would get a lot of kills, but we'd get a lot of objectives at the same time. So we
Yeah, the
knew we
gold
were
lead.
chilling gold wise.
Yeah, the gold lead never got too far away, and I can imagine McShoots being frustrated as like the early game jungler as the timer ticks more and more. You're just looking, you're like, guys, I really can't do anything anymore. I'm just an Elise E bot, but again, you guys pulled it out. The team fighting was crazy. I want to say Totemax's quadra kill. I was like, what is actually happening in these fights? Because I remember you jump into the back line, insta die to Rel CC, and then adjustment jumps into your team, insta dies, and I was just like, oh, this is gonna be a game. But you guys pulled it through. It was a great series to watch. Any shout outs, anybody you want to thank, anything like that? The floor is all yours, brother.
Hmm. Hmm, hmm, hmm. um yeah, thanks to you guys for a great season. Like obviously every time we play an Excellency, it's a ton of fun. Thanks to the casters and everyone. Follow me on Twitter. Twitter.com/GLB_Kiba. That's all I gotta say.
Follow the finals MVP. I do want to before I let you go, Idea and Stone, do you guys have any questions for my finals MVP? I'm gonna say the finals
Woo!
MVP. That's my finals MVP. I'm just decreeing it as finals MVP. Do you guys have any questions for this man? This beautiful hunk of an AD carry.
I just
Mm-hmm.
want to say congratulations. Well played. You've been exciting to watch. Thank you for winning fantasy for me. That was amazing a few weeks ago. But overall,
Mm-hmm.
congratulations and thanks for
Pog.
being a part of the league. It's a ton of fun to watch this team play, both of these teams.
I have a question. Can I ask a question? Stone, what was up with those
Of course it is.
predictions?
Look, I'm
Mm-hmm.
just saying that y'all have some weaknesses. That's all I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying. And if you want to know
Kiba,
more, follow me on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
Kiba, you like that? I did the Omega presentation, but my brain, it's still there. The brain
Yeah, I
still
respect
works.
it. I respected
Called out. I feel called out. I respect it.
it.
You know, my brain is always gone. That's why I never win any predictions or games in our pre-shows. But Kiba, I do have a question for you. Actually, I do.
Mhm.
What is next for this Glaive esports roster?
Oh, it's going boom. No
very
cap.
well.
Yep, just like that.
Just gone well. Good things always do come to an end. Sunset always does
You got to end
set
at the
in
highest point,
paradise.
right?
Yeah, exactly.
Going out like Seinfeld.
Well, congratulations to you on the victory. And yeah, enjoy your night. Celebrate a
Appreciate
little
it.
bit.